Welcome to American Hood Shyt. I'm your host, RAFIQ. Now, before we get started, you know what to do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and let's get this started. Today's episode is entitled, you all ready for this? I mean, it really fits the show. It fits the title. The title fits the show. Excuse me. And this show is entitled Kardashian Pussy. Yeah, you heard me correctly. Kardashian Pussy. It seems to be like the Kardashians' pussy have some sort of powers to it. It seems to have a kind of a dark power to that pussy. I don't know. For a while there, the saying was the curse of the Kardashian pussy. Well, Ray J, you was a lucky man. You was a smart man. You was a lucky man. But at the time, also, you was a very, very, very young man. So, just getting the pussy was basically achieved by you. That's what you tried to. That's what you wanted to do. Just to get the pussy and keep the pussy and put the pussy on film. That is what your thing was. So you did what you wanted to do when you got out of there. You wasn't trying to lock the pussy down. Reggie Bush tried to lock the pussy down, and we saw how his career declined, how his performance declined on the field. We saw what happened to him. And then, of course, someone who really wasn't a caliber player like your Reggie Bushes and people like that, even though Harding and Tristan didn't date her, but they dated a Kardashian, and Chris Humphrey's talent wasn't nowhere near those gentlemen, but she latched on, or he latched on, however it went. He got some Kardashian pussy, and we see what happened to him. And then all of a sudden, this particular rapper, Mr. West, Kanye West, figured, he could tame the pussy. He could, he got some kryptonite powers around him that if he gets the pussy, it'll be okay. That the Kardashian pussy curse would not affect him. I think that's what he thought. But once he got himself into that circle of Kardashians and got the Kardashian pussy, he first went off on that rant on stage. We all know what the first rant was. Here it is. This man's in the middle of a damn concert. He stops the concert and starts tripping about B&J and the music industry. Well, I wondered, was that some of that Kardashian pussy juice that then got to him and made him, he was, all of a sudden in his performance, and all of a sudden the juice hit him, and he, bing, and he's all of a sudden, Kanye Stein, and he's all of a sudden just started going off. Well, that was the start of the Kardashian pussy curse hitting him. It was kind of affecting him. It was kind of, taking its toll on him. But then it seemed like it's been 3 years, 4 years or something like that, I think, since that happened. 2 years, 3 years since that happened. And at that same time, like right after that happened, remember his financial or his wealth status went down, and technically he was like $25 million in debt or something like that. Well, all that has changed. The man took a 360-degree turnaround and now has become a billionaire, certified, unlike his sister-in-law, who was certified, but you know, it was a lot of riff went on with that. And we know before they certify us, we can't pull all the riffs and we can't pull those strings, you know. They're not going to let us pull those strings that all the riffs and gifts that was pulled to make it, whereas the sister-in-law was a billionaire when she wasn't. They're not going to do that with us. No. They're going to make sure that we are, our finances is what it is, and we're a billionaire. That's what they're going to make sure. Cool, no problem. He's a certified billionaire. Okay, now, the fact that he's a certified billionaire, and I have technically, you know, if you're married, you have guardianship, you have, not guardianship, you have power of attorney, because she's not a guardian, it's just power of attorney over your spouse. And now that he's a certified billionaire, excuse me, there's some heat, by the way. Now that he's a certified billionaire, that means Kim technically is a certified billionaire. Her husband's a certified billionaire. So now we're gonna get his crazy ass locked up, because if we get his crazy ass locked up, then I got access to his funds. I control his funds. I control him. And from the looks of it, the Kardashian pussy has got him just fucked up. Yeah, he's gone. For him to even have came out and made the comment that he made about one of our sheroes, Sister Harriet Tubman, it really sounded like this man was really on dope and dog food. That's what it sounded like to me, for him to even say some shit like that. I mean, I know, you know, and for surely, if that would have taken place, it would have been in his storybook. Surely he would have made it plain and clear in his storybook. But remember, when we did come across figures like her, and we didn't come across Nat Turner, remember. So when they did talk about her and Mary McLeod Bethune, and they didn't show, or they didn't, in their history book, they didn't show us those people doing anything on that magnitude. Everything that they showed us was showing us them in a more passive aggressive attitude and the things that they were doing. So they didn't really show those women as being the feisty women that they were to achieve what they had to achieve. They didn't show those women like that. But then as we got to dig deeper into their history and their personal lives, and we already knew what the struggle was, we knew that these were strong women. And for this man to say that our sister was basically getting us to go work for the European, he's way out of line. He was way out of line. He wasn't smoking no weed. I guarantee that. I'm telling you, it was dope and dog food. He kind of mixed a little some kind of dope, and then once he did that dope, he went and he ate some dog food, and then he had to it triggered whatever it triggered in his mind, and he came on out and said, "Hey, Harriet Tubman hired black folks. She got black folks and took them and had them work for white folks." Anyway, that was the statement that they needed him to make, because even they know that shit didn't happen. And that was the statement that they needed him to make to have him psychologically evaluated so that he could be admitted in a psychiatric hospital. That's by him making that statement, by that Kardashian pussy juice messing with the chemical, the chemicals in his brain, giving him some sort of chemical imbalance in his brain or whatever. That made him say that. And I'm trying to think the receptors. There's, you know what? The receptor, versus the amyloid beta peptide. That's the chemical that's cruising through the receptors of your brain, okay? And the amyloid beta peptide is that chemical. He didn't have amyloid beta peptide. He had actually Kardashian beta peptide through his brain, which made him start saying that bullshit. Yeah, that's what he had. Yeah, so when his receptors were clicking, okay, and they're normally that's a normal thing, but then when you smoke cannabis, it stops. It closes those receptors, and everything runs over. Well, but it wasn't the amyloid beta peptide that runs the chemical. No, it was Kardashian. It was Kardashian beta peptide. And as a result, my man jumps on stage with all that. But it's sad because once he goes to that hospital, which he already knows, that is why he's not going to go. Because once he goes there, they're gonna be on that bullshit, and they're gonna keep him. They're gonna lock his ass up. They're going to say that there's something wrong, and they're going to keep him in that ward, and it's already been set. It's already been planned to do that. So therefore, because once that happens and he goes there, he already know the checkbook automatically goes over to who? Miss Kardashian. So that Kardashian pussy got him. I mean, and then he has fruit with the Kardashians. So, can we say he's in trouble? He's fucked. He's fucked. Yeah, he is fucked. Yeah, didn't sign any prenup. So basically, he's jumped in the. But there's another gentleman that's over there, dealing with that card. It's not just that card. There was a couple. This. Hey. We got a rapper over there, and then we got this other gentleman, and the other gentleman, if I'm not mistaken, I met the other gentleman's, may have been his grandmother, but I was there in the city. I was in Philly on a tour with a comedian, and it was during a holiday, and I think it was a Thanksgiving. We went over to the other gentleman's house, Mr. Gamble. I went over to I think it was his grandmother. If because that name, we went over to Kenny Gamble's people's house, and of course it was a sister that was there. I can't quite remember, you know, if this was Kenny Gamble's ex-wife or something of that nature, but the comedian took me over. We went over to the Gamble's house. We had a break on this tour. As a matter of fact, I was out with Earth, Wind, and Fire. I was Philip Bailey's driver, and on this tour we was on, the comedian that was opening up basically knew the Gambles. If this is the same person, because when that name, I said, look at it. I said, wait a minute, that name, I know that name. I said, well, anyway, but it has nothing to do with him. But anyway, it's just dealing with Kardashian rift. So anyway, it's just funny how it all, you know, it waited until, I mean, she waited. I mean, this whole psychiatric rift waited until this man has been certified as a billionaire. And now, you know, he just started tripping and it's locking his ass. It's trying to get his ass locked up. So that's what I'm saying. It's the whole Kardashian, you know, we know that there was also, that there is also, of course, another person that has in that Kardashian rift, but there's no, hey, we got 3 brothers over there in that Kardashian. When one is already one's tripping. Oh, no, wait a minute, it's 4. It's 4 brothers over there. It's 4. Yeah, we got 4 brothers over there. One is already you know, one's on is probably, I don't know, you know, because it's already some rift going on, unless it's a publicity riff and about an album about to drop. We don't know. But with the rant and the shit that he said, I don't know, man. It's hey, I'm telling you, it's that Kardashian pussy is riffing. It has him. So the fact that it has him, you know, let's just see what goes on with it, you know. And hopefully the brother don't go to the hospital, because if he go to the hospital, they're gonna lock his ass up. They're gonna keep his ass in there. They're gonna, even though he voluntarily, but they're not gonna see. But that's the thing about it. He's not gonna volunteer. Someone else is gonna take him, and whoever takes him there signs him in, and that's who has the authority to sign him out. They have the power of attorney when they sign him in that hospital. And they could get him there and tell them, and you know, it's them, and it's hey, you got one set of white folks telling this other set of white folks to keep this black motherfucker in here. So once they put his ass in there, he ain't getting out, and he knows that. So that's why he's not gonna go. If I was you, Kanye, I wouldn't go. But then, on the cool, I wouldn't have got on stage and said no bullshit like that anyway. So they wouldn't be trying to lock me up. Anyway, I'm out of here. You know, hit me up, like this video, pass it. But hey, it's something about that Kardashian pussy. I mean, hey, we see what it's doing, and it's gonna do what it do to those brothers that think they're gonna lock the Kardashian pussy down. Nah. So if you got your paper, you know.
Yeah, what it do? Yeah, you know what it is. Yeah, MJ. Disaster. Woo. I'm so thorough when I step up in it. Damn food collection clothes smelling just like